What's up everyone, College Session. Welcome back to another video. Today we have my Backlash 2023 reactions, and yeah, just gonna quickly give my overall, then we'll get into more detail on the matches. I thought the show was good, I thought the crowd was hot. The crowd were great there in Puerto Rico last night, and they added a lot to the card, a lot to the matches. I know going in, I even said in my predictions, there's nothing really that excites me on the card, but there was potential for some of the matches to be good, and that is what we got, especially with our opener and another match that we'll get into. Specifically, there's two standout matches and some overall good stuff. I wouldn't say there was anything like too terrible about any of the matches, but yeah, let's get into it. Show opened up with Bianca Belair defending the Raw Women's Championship against Io Sky. Even though both are on SmackDown now, we still haven't really got any we still don't know what's happening there. So yeah, Bianca versus Io opened the show. Awesome match. Crowd were super into Io Sky. They were really behind Io, chatting for Io, cheering Io. Boo and Bianca even, they were really behind Io. Great to see Io kind of get this spotlight, especially with a crowd that are really into her, to show what she can do, what we've seen her do in Japan, what we've seen her do in NXT. I feel like this is the first time we've really got to see Io shine on the main roster, and yeah, the crowd being hot to her only really added to it. Some really good impressive spots here. You know, Bianca Belair, you know, Io was working off the arm. She went for a gorilla press. She started to sell the arm and held her up with one arm. It's kind of scary landing for Io. She did almost land right on her head. It did look scary, but hopefully, thankfully she was good and able to continue. And also there's a nice Io one for Frankensteiner off the top rope. Bianca caught her powerbomb from the top, and that was a really good spot. Finish comes after Damage Control come down to get involved. Dakota Kai kicks. Bianca sets up in position for Io to hit the moonsault, but Bayley's holding Bianca by the braid. The referee sees this and kind of causes a bit of distraction, which allows Bianca to roll out of the way. Io misses KOD, and Bianca retains. I said going in, I would have loved Io to win, and especially after seeing how hot the crowd for her, I think they probably could have pulled the trigger here. But you know, it plays in her losing plays into the whole Damage Control stuff. But yeah, you could have still had Io winning. Maybe throughout the summer we see Bayley getting more and more jealous, which kind of again continues to lead to this split. But Bianca retains. She's now the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion, longest reigning Women's Champion in modern era, 400 days. And yeah, it's kind of like, who is left to defeat Bianca, especially after the draft. They didn't really freshen up because they brought her on the same brand of Asuka, who she's already beat at WrestleMania, brought her on the same brand as Damage Control. She's already beat Bayley multiple times. She's beat Io now. The only real options that I can think of are, well, Io, because it wasn't a clean, well, it was clean, but you had the little distraction from Bayley. You could say, well, if it wasn't for Bayley, Io would have won, so maybe you could run it back with Io winning. And Charlotte, but I don't really want to see another Charlotte title reign soon anyway. You know, maybe if you build up Mia Yim potentially in the future, could be a possibility, but yeah, you'd have to do a lot to build up Mia. But Bianca, so yeah, we'll have to see what happens there with Bianca. We also have to see what happens with the Raw and SmackDown Women's titles and all, with them going on different brands. Then we got a backstage segment with Bad Bunny. He's getting ready for his match. He's interrupted by Ray, who introduces him to Savio Vega, and Savio gives him a Puerto Rican themed kendo stick. Good to see Savio Vega get like a little cameo on this show, considering it is in Puerto Rico. Then we had Seth Rollins versus Omos. Really enjoyable match. I think this match definitely kind of exceeded expectations. You know, I feel like people have to start kind of giving Omos a bit of credit. His match against Brock at Mania was good. Great. This is probably his best match here against Seth. Of course, Seth probably, you know, took a lot of charge of this, and a lot of credit has to go to Seth. But, you know, I feel like back-to-back Omos matches at the big stage kind of delivered it quality-wise. Of course, he hasn't won either of them, so you kind of like have him build up in these squash matches, but once it gets to a big one, he loses. Crowd were super hot again for this one. Seth, you know, standing in the ring, listening to this, sing this theme, gets caught with a big boot, you know, and that's how things got started. There's a good spot where almost from the floor, press slams Rollins over the top rope back into the ring, and then Seth hits 2 curb stomps and has to go to the top rope for a kind of a super curb stomp to get to 3. And as I said, really enjoyed this match. I think it's probably almost his best match so far. And yeah, if Seth doesn't win the World Heavyweight Championship, I'd be shocked. He definitely deserves to be the first to win that new World Heavyweight Championship. Then we had Austin Theory retaining the United States Championship in a triple threat against Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley. This was an okay matchup. It's not really anything special, but it wasn't bad either. Bronson Reed got to shine a lot in this. You know, he did a nice, it was like a Vader bomb kind of to standing Bobby Lashley from the ropes, second rope to the outside. You know, he went for the moonsault, and I believe he missed it. He hit the tsunami, and which got broken up the pin. And yeah, he got to shine this. I feel like he was the standout, which he needed. He needed a bit more than Theory and Lashley. So yeah, it was nice to see Bronson get to shine, even though he did eat the pin. I feel like he's the one that coming out of it looked the best, based on the performance. Theory did retain after Lashley hit the spear on Bronson. Theory comes in, throws Lashley out, and gets the win. Hopefully we can see them continue to build on this Bronson Reed momentum. You know, we kind of seen a bit of it in the Chamber event. They didn't really have any plans for Mania. So hopefully they can continue again, and we continue to see Bronson do these impressive matches and his impressive stuff. You know, there's a reason he has a win over Okada. I've been a big fan of Bronson Reed way before his first run in NXT, even like his days as Johnner. You know, big fan of him. So I hope that we can, you know, do something with him. Maybe run him versus Gunther for the IC title. That could be something good. But yeah, Theory retains, taking that belt over to SmackDown. Leaves the door open a bit for for Theory and Lashley. Of course, Theory as well, you know, could go maybe Grayson Waller or LA Knight are also potential. So again, interested to see what's next for Theory and the US Championship, and what's for Lashley, because I feel like Lashley is someone who could possibly go and challenge Roman Reigns now that they're both on SmackDown. Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega was up next. I didn't think this match was anything special, but again, I wouldn't say it was anything terrible about it. Rhea retains after hitting a riptide for the 3 count. Zelina had no cut entrance gear, you know, with the Puerto Rican flag, and you could see how much it meant to her getting to wrestle Puerto Rico in front of that crowd. You know, she was tearing up just in the ring inductions, and after the match, she got her moment, you know, standing in the ring alone. With the crowd cheering and chanting her name. So happy Zelina got her moment and got that moment wrestling in front of that crowd. Even if the match, I didn't think the match was anything too special. I don't really have a lot to say about. But yeah, Rhea retains kind of predictably as well. Maybe that's why I didn't really enjoy this match, because I didn't really get invested in Zelina. I never for 1 second thought she was winning. So yeah, Rhea retains. Interesting again to see who steps up to challenge her. Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest again. I mentioned Bianca and Io being a standout. This is the other standout match. I really like this one. You know, it's cool. Bad Bunny's entrance with the whole arena singing along. You know, he had a shopping cart full of weapons, like New Jack style, Raven style. You know, he's busting out Michinoku drivers, Falcon arrows. At one point they're fighting out in the production area, and Damian Priest hits the broken arrow through a table off the production cases. Eventually, Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor do come down to get involved, which leads to Rey Mysterio run out. But again, Judgment Day still have the numbers, and out comes Carlito Caribbean Cool. Of course, he's great to see Carlito, big Carlito fan. He had the LWO shirt on, so maybe is he joining the LWO? We'll have to wait and see him. This could have very well been a one-off for the Puerto Rican crowd. Only complaint I have about the Carlito thing is it didn't have a spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool at the beginning of the music. It just went straight into the song. But great to see Carlito. him and Ray fight off the Judgment Day, which leads to Savio Vega coming out to the ramp with the rest of the LWO. And Judgment Day have nowhere to go, so they kind of brawl around the place. This leads to Bad Bunny then hitting a Destroyer for the 3 count on Damian Priest. A lot of fun. I think they should have main evented, especially with the closing shot of Bad Bunny celebrating with the LWO and Carlito and Ray and Savio Vega. I think that would have been a great way to end the show, but it didn't. And the crowd was still super hot afterwards, so I didn't really mind. I just think a lot of people were saying they should have main event gone in. I'm pretty sure I said it as well on Twitter. But yeah, it didn't main event, but it's still, again, a lot of people saying it's their match. And I'd have Io and Bianca over this one, but this is a close second. And yeah, these are, in my opinion, the 2 standout matches on the card. So if you're checking anything out, check out Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest and check out Io versus Bianca. Then we had the Bloodline getting the win after Solo Sikoa hit the spike on Matt Riddle to give them the 3 count. It was an alright 6-man tag. It was a bit of fun. I didn't really think it was anything too special. Maybe because, again, I've kind of cooled it off on the Uso and Sami Zayn stuff. I kind of peaked at WrestleMania. And this just feels like, alright, we just kind of need something to continue until Roman Reigns is back. And with Roman coming back on SmackDown, you know, he's going to be at Night Champions. He's advertised for Money in the Bank. He's going to be at SummerSlam. So hopefully this means we can start to get some progress in the whole, like, Bloodline stuff. Because they even teased it again here with, you know, Jay and Solo kind of making blind tags on each other. Even teasing 1 point Solo hitting Jay with the Samoan Spike. So yeah, hopefully we can continue with this Bloodline stuff with Roman now coming back, and hopefully we can get, you know, it's cooled off, but hopefully we can pick up some momentum again with this. Cody Rhodes then defeats Brock Lesnar in our final match here. It was an okay match. Not a big fan of it. Didn't really get into this match, especially the finish, which I'll get to. Yeah, the whole thing just fell a bit flat for me. Match starts Cody doing a dive out of the ring to Brock, and then eventually when they get back into the ring, Brock kind of takes control, takes Cody to Suplex City as Brock kind of grabs Cody for a suplex at one point. Cody grabs onto the turnbuckle pad, and as he gets thrown, pulls it off. Sorry, I had to pause recording for something. Someone was at my door. But yeah, as Brock went to German suplex Cody, he exposes the turnbuckle, which then leads to Brock running head first into the turnbuckle, busting himself open, getting a bit of colour. He then eats 2 crossroads, which Brock kicks out at 2 from. Cody goes for the 3rd, but gets caught in an F5 and kicks out. Brock locks in the Kimura lock, but Cody uses his weight to push him over, putting his shoulders down, gets a 3 count. And yeah, I know, kind of stealing the victory there with a flash pin. Kind of fell flat for me, especially after Brock getting busted open, kicking out 2 crossroads to get just a sneaky pin like that. It didn't hit for me. It fell flat, but yeah, match as well, as I said, it was okay. Finish, I feel like it could have been better, especially after, you know, Brock getting busted open, 2 crossroads. The flash pin just didn't do it for me. But yeah, as I said, overall, really enjoyed the show. Thought the crowd was great and really added it. As I mentioned, Io Bianca match of the night for me. Close second, Damian Priest, Bad Bunny. And if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.